Get out of here. Oh wow, this tier list right here. Yeah, cringy, but I didn't live stream my reaction to the thing because I was in the parade. I played the saxophone for the parade. I was in the band. I did the Minecraft Live at the same time as my passion. But I saw the update afterwards, and there's a lot to break down, and I'm really happy about this update. Now I have all the new things here that I saw in the update, so that I like noticed. Let me know if I missed anything, but let's start with all the new mobs. I know it looks like a lot of mobs, but trust me, it's not that much once you look into it. The Fireflies kind of like. Well, let's just start on the Fireflies, kind of like work our way up a bit. And oh my gosh, I haven't watched it in a long time. Now I've done this in a long while, but the Fireflies are not the best. They're kind of like the particle effects, and like they're not really 3D. And I could see them as like once you place one down, it's like a bunch of them, and it's like like a particle effect type of thing, and they're frog food, looking at another animal, so I think it would be like, maybe like, I think they're a cool touch to the game, so maybe like, in the middle. Now, let's just start on here. Let's do this before this. Frogs in general, I love this idea, and one cool thing about this update is that it was a loser to a past mob vote. Now I'll do the other type of frogs, which is the tropical frog, which you'll find in the jungle and the desert. And I think this is also, it's really cool because they're like white, and like completely white animal. I don't know, it just looks pretty cool. I love the way the frogs walk. It's so like derpy, and how they like jump around and like fall around and stuff. So they're kind of like a derpy type of mob. They would just be like a cute guy on the way to your, like where you're trying to explore. Now the third frog, the cold-blooded frog, I'm also going to put here because there's no really bad frog type. The frog, tropical frog, and cold-blooded frog, and you would find this one in the cold-blooded, the like winter biomes or mountains. And they also mentioned in the video how they said if you bring your pet tadpole in oh wait, actually I spawned in Fireflies. Yeah, I just renamed a bunch of mobs, like items, because they're not actually in the game. But they did say that you could take tadpoles on your adventure, and then when they grow up in a different biome, that's what their type would be. So that's making me think that you can actually put them in a bucket, and like it'll be like a little pet. So I'm gonna put the tadpoles here because they don't do much, and they're really cute, but they don't do anything. They just grow up into the frogs. The frogs don't do anything either, but they'll have some more uses in the future because they did say at the end of their breakdown of the update that they had some unique features about each type of frog, and that maybe there'll be a fourth type called the poisonous frog, and we'll find that somewhere else. Like maybe you can find those in caves. If one was like, if you find a frog below the coordinate of like the up and down coordinate of like 20 or something, then or like below 50, then like or like if it's underground, then it counts as a poisonous frog or something. Now, this next mob, I am really happy It's the winner of the vote, and I'm really excited about the winner. I was gonna vote for it, but I didn't have Twitter, and I was afraid during the time. The winner is the LA. Let's go, and it's basically just the Vex's brother. So imagine this, but like blue, like bright blue, and doesn't have an anger problem, and is like one of the most annoying mobs in the entire game, and should be nerfed or changed. But I love the LA. You know, I'd probably put it here because it's not like the cave update. You don't know. The LA is very creative, and its features have not been added to the game in a long time. See, I'm not on mute. I forgot to do mic check, but I'm not on mute. The LA is like brand new features that have never been used for like farming and stuff, and like cleaning up a bit and collecting is like, it'll help you a lot for that. And being summoned with music blocks, that's just like, they haven't done that before. Now the last mob that will be added in this update is, we already know what it is. It's the Warden, but bro, this thing is crazy cool. I mean, another thing, like just like the LA, its mechanics are like completely different. They've never used this before with the like the blindness and stuff, and it's just like really, really crazy. And like the mechanics on how you can like change where they go with throwing like a snowball or something, or like activating a shulk sensor, which is another thing another thing in the update. Now that's all the mobs, and now let's look at the shulk items that will also be added. You know what, let's also add these here. Let's first start on the shulk sensor. This, we already know what it will do, so I'm gonna put it like right here. It's not the craziest thing, but we already knew it like a year ago. And like wireless redstone, yeah, it's awesome. Very creative idea, but it's kind of like, it'll get really complicated and messy in the future, and I feel like it's gonna be like another one of those redstone things that like only like only the smartest people would know how to use. But again, we haven't used those yet, so we'll never know, or we will know eventually. We just don't know right now. Now, another really cool thing is that there's the shulk catalyst. What just happened over here? I think the squid died. Yep. Oh, you killed him. Huh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You killed the squid. You know, I don't like squids. The shulk catalyst will be kind of like all the shulk items like farms as a farm. So what it would do is, like, let's say this is the shulk catalyst, and all of the things around it, like the shulk blocks and like everything, like the shulk lines on the ground and all the items. And then you kill a bad guy next to it, and that like enemy will, like, depending on the amount of XP it drops or levels it drops, it'll give you high saberlish. Saberlish is, I don't know how to pronounce the name of it. So imagine the shulk catalyst would be like, those are all the new mobs that are rated. These are just the frog types, the Warden and the LA, tadpoles, Fireflies. And that's the shulk sensor for like wireless redstone stuff that we learned last year. But the Shulk Catalyst is another thing you'll find with the Shulk Sensor. And what you'll do is if you kill an enemy next to it, it'll, depending on the XP it drops, it'll put more, like, Shulk items, or not Shulk, Skulk items, like, or like blocks. So, like, say you're in a Skulk biome, and then you see one of these, and then you kill a bad guy next to it, or an enemy. Wherever that lands, more Skulk blocks will land. And the amount of Skulk blocks will be depending on how much XP it drops. So if you kill an enemy and it drops a bunch of XP, it'll plant a bunch of Skulk blocks around it. So that's kind of like a Skulk farm. And I say I love farms and like renewable items. So I'm probably gonna put that like there. Then the next item in the Skulk biome is like, I love this idea. It's the Skulk Shrieker. So it could be activated multiple ways. If there's a Skulk sensor and then it senses the Skulk sensor, or if you just if it senses you itself, like you, if it senses you or like an item, then it'll give off a signal, and like the entire sky and everything, it'll like give you effect that makes the sky looks like it's flashing and like lights are going off in the background and by you and you can't see anything. It's called the darkness effect, and I think this is like really cool because it also makes like a shrieking sound. And this will be awesome for like traps and stuff. So like if you put a bunch of these next to your friend, like your friend's house, they just walk into their house and then chaos is happening and like lights are going everywhere and they don't know what's going on. But one hard thing is that like if you make too many signals with all the Shulk items, then it gives off then it summons the warden, and the warden rises out of the ground. And I'll put the Skulk Shrieker right here because I love the Skulk Shrieker. It's just amazing. Now the Shulk vines, I don't know why I didn't put the Shulk decorative block that you would see on the ground. The Shulk vines is kind of like, if you see in their breakdown video, in the biome they have these like vines on the ground like that are like blue and green and stuff. And I think they're really cool for decorations, but they don't have they don't really have a unique feature that they've shown us yet. Same thing with the Shulk block or Skulk block. So I'm just gonna say that the Skulk block is whatever. I'll put the Skulk block. You know what? The Skulk block. I'm just gonna make it right now because I forgot to put it. This is basically what I did. Wait. Boom, I have a Skulk block now. But, I think it's the same thing with the vines. It's just, they look amazing, and I think they'll be, really cool to see what YouTubers will do with them, and, like, build god bases and stuff, and, like, a bunch of YouTubers, like, see what they would do with them. And that's, like, it's really cool looking blocks that would be really cool if you look at like natural, creepy, like dark areas, or like a dungeon or like abandoned something. So like if you like see abandoned city underground, yeah, they are gonna add abandoned cities, or that are going with the deep dark biome. That's like deep dark themed underground abandoned city. So like it's made out of these blocks and some new blocks, the Skulk blocks. and it'll be like overgrown with all the scope blocks and sensors and shriekers and catalysts. And I think this is definitely one of the best features in the game. You know what? I feel like I'm giving Fireflies too much hate, and I'll put these there. Boom. Skulk block. So those are all the skulk items, but let's do these items right here. I'm really happy about these items. Let's just say there's a new tree type called the mangrove tree, and it looks amazing. It'll have roots sticking out of it. The sapling would grow underground, and I think that's just like a big yes for me. So I'm gonna put the roots, because they'll have like a rooted tree block type of thing, and then the rooted wood type itself. Now the wood type itself is literally just if you got the jungle wood type and just added a little like font to it, or like change the shape. It literally, I can't even tell the difference. So I'm gonna put it down there. Like, it's not the best, but it is pretty cool for having a new wood type. So they have added a new one. Now this is one of my favorite things about the update. I'm gonna put it here. It's mud. So it's another renewable resource. They said that in the video, where you can, it's renewable dirt, mud, and clay, because dirt's everywhere. Water is, mud is basically infinite, because if dirt's everywhere, you can't really run out of dirt. It's like, or you can, but it's like really hard to run out of. What was I talking about? Yeah, the mud. And like since there's infinite water, you just, and like dirt's really easy to find. I mean, what? Dirt's the hardest item in the entire game. It's like the god item. Oh my gosh. But I'm joking. If you get water out of the ocean and left click dirt with it, it becomes mud. And I thought it would be a gravity block that can fall, but they never said if it is or not. But if you put it on top of a like stalagmite or like spike, whatever you call it, the water will drain out, and you know how they like drip and stuff. It'll become clay. So now renewable clay is an item. Like, you have like infinite clay, because clay is kind of hard to find. And they also said in the video how it's basically putting it's basically putting the stonemasons taking their job away, because we don't need to buy bricks and clay anymore, because we already got it. So I'm putting the mud up here. Now the next item is the mud bricks. So there's a new brick type that's coming with the mud, and the mud will like, so like you would make it with the mud, and it'll and it's basically just a different brick, but it looks really cool, and it's like really good for like base building. So I'll put it like right here. And the last item will be amazing for like adventures when you're traveling far over the ocean, because it'll be a chest in a boat, which will also be coming in this update, and I think it'll be probably here, because it's not the biggest thing, but also very useful thing. Wait. Oh, I didn't think it would do that. I mean, I guess the boat is an entity, like a mob, because it moves. so I guess it'll have a name tag if you rename it. But that's everything. That's all the new items. I don't know if I missed anything, but this is the tier list. I think this is a big yes update. But I know Mojang won't see this video, but if you do, which is like really rare, please change the color of mangrove wood planks, because it looks nothing different to jungle wood. I don't even think there is a difference. But they didn't actually tell us what trapdoors and doors would look like in mangrove. So I think I'm excited for those. And I think this update, the only thing bad about it is the wood type. Now, there's also like a bunch of Minecraft dungeons updates, a bunch of cool other things, but that's not Minecraft. Minecraft Dungeons is Minecraft Dungeons, not Minecraft. They also have if you have Xbox, not PS4, you can both Java and Bedrock in one like game, so they'll have all the features that you can't have in Java, but you can have in Bedrock, and all the features that you can't that you can have in Java but can't have in Bedrock, and have them all in one. And that's just like consoleless, because PS4, no love. PS4, yeah. I mean, that's only if you have like, I mean, it is a part of the Xbox pass thing, but if you get but like PlayStation Plus kind of has that with what PlayStation does with PlayStation Plus. It's kind of the exact same thing, but I think Minecraft, Java, and Bedrock going together should also go with PS4. What's up, Wolfman Gamer NL? I just did a tier list for the entire new update. So there's Fireflies, frogs, tropical frog, cold-blooded frog, tadpoles, the LA, and warden. And then there's roots, or like a rooted tree, like that, or like roots that would go on the tree. Mud and mud bricks, and also the mangrove tree that the roots would go to. Shulk block, shulk city, shulk vines, which is just decorative. Skulk Shrieker is like, it kind of gives you blindness. And then Shulk Center, we already know that. Chest in a boat speaks for itself. And the Shulk Catalyst is like a Shulk decorative farm. Or not, I keep calling it Shulk, it's Skulk. But I already rated all of it. The only bad thing is the wood type, because it looks just like jungle. Literally, it's just a replica of jungle. Go watch the video yourself of their breakdown of saying all the new items. But I'd say my favorite thing is either the city or the frogs. The frogs, I love them. They're so derpy and cute, and the way they walk, they're just like going left and right, and like wobbling. But thank you for watching, everybody, and make sure to subscribe to notifications next video. I'm sorry that you just like joined in the stream as soon as I was about to finish up, but you could just rewind the stream if you want. But thank you for stopping by, everybody. Subscribe, notifications, fart.